Hello and welcome. This is The Joy Making Less. I'm Megan.
I'm April. Nice to see everybody.
Yeah.
If it's your first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thanks for being here. We just chat.
Yeah, this is our place to chat about crafty things, life things, all sorts of stuff. So,
you know what I was going to do? I was going to look up what this sweater is.
do you want to look it up right now?
Yeah, you can cut this part out.
Okay. I could give him a tour through the little bouquet here on the side table. And I got it at the farmer's market.
You do that while I look at what this sweater is, because my memory, I know the skirt. This is my estuary skirt with the patch pockets.
Yes, yeah, I noticed that. I like the buttons too. Those are very cool.
These are the extra ones that I was going to give to you for whatever thing.
Oh yeah,
you were doing, because I came in a whole they're like coconut shell.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. What is this? Where am I going? Oh yeah.
So this is a little bouquet that I made. It's a smaller version of the bigger one that I have at my house.
It's so cute. I love it.
And it's got little lavender and eucalyptus. So I wish you guys could smell it. It's very cute.
It does smell wonderful.
So
you really can't beat lavender and eucalyptus.
No. You really can't go wrong with just fresh flowers either.
Let me see. Ravelry.
So while you're looking that up, I made an not impulse buy, but I'm really excited about it. Have you heard of the Japanese form of flower making called Ikibana?
I think maybe in the movie Lost in Translation, Scarlett Johansson does that at one scene.
Yeah.
Set the way back. That movie's ancient now, but
I need to look it up.
It's one of my all-time favorites.
But one of my favorite YouTubers, podcasters, Caroline Winkler, she'll never see this, but she's like an interior.
Never say never.
I know. She's an interior designer, and her brother woodworks, and he works with a lot of walnut stuff. And a couple of years ago, he did these kind of simplistic honey pots, and I got one of his honey pots. And then he also came out with Ikibana vases, and I bought one turned walnut. And it's got the little thing in the middle, and then it's all about balance and asymmetry and everything.
What do you mean by thing in the middle? Like a little frog with the little spikes on it, so you can stick. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm excited about that. That's coming in the mail.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just keep
Getting
going to the
flower
farmer's market
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is great. Eucalyptus. You know what it reminds me of? Okay, I don't often go to Hobby Lobby, but every now and then need outweighs my opinion of that organization.
Yes.
But Hobby Lobby and Michael's, when you walk in, it smells like eucalyptus.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know that it's probably not the real smell, but
I get a sudden urge to go to the bathroom whenever I walk into one of those places. And Barnes & Noble, too. I don't know why.
That's random.
Yes, it is.
Megan, I get the sudden urge to go to the bathroom whenever I walk into anywhere.
It's just a thing. But yeah, no, I think it's the combination of the religious piano music and the I don't know.
Does Barnes & Noble have religious piano music?
No,
too?
but they've got the piano music. I think it might just be the dance background and just I'm like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, it's that kind of bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
I know. Tell me what you're wearing.
So yeah, this is the Streamline Tank by Alexandra Tavel. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the yarn is the Lion Brand Kobo. It's like a
cotton bamboo.
Thank you, cotton bamboo, and it's what the pattern called for. So Alexandra Tavel is 2 of Wands.
Okay.
On Ravelry, and it was an easy pattern, and there's no shaping to it. It's the same front and back, so it's reversible.
Nice.
But I messed up one of the straps on the back. I didn't decrease down enough, so I made that the back.
Okay.
It's not very obvious, but anyway, it's really
cute.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
The yarn is super nice. I really like it.
And I like the thick strap, so it hides the bra
I have
strap.
to have that. Yeah. The days of me pulling off no bra are just not comfortable for me anymore.
I can't do that either.
It's not going. It's not happening. But in terms of mass-produced what I consider a more budget-friendly yarn. It's really nice. It's very comfortable to wear. So
Good.
Just breathable.
Yeah.
Nice for summer.
Nice.
But yeah. So there you have it.
Cute.
And then I put it on with my little estuary skirt. This was the first estuary skirt I made. But this one has the patch pockets. I've worn the other one before.
Yes.
During Mime Made, which was the more of the railroad stripe.
Yes.
And that one has the inseam pockets instead of the patch. Honestly, the patch pockets, they were a bit fiddly to get right, you know.
Yeah, I remember I did the similar patch pockets on that one vest that I did of hers, and I didn't secure the actual top of them, so they like unfold all the time, and you have to like iron them back together, but it's fine.
You could take some like Wonder Tape.
Hemming tape
or
or
stitch
whatever.
witchery, and just go in and just iron it so that it doesn't, you know, at least it'll stay on. It'll stay.
That's a good idea.
Just make sure you get the one, because there's ones that will wash away and there's ones that are permanent. So make sure you use a permanent one. I probably have some I can give you little pieces of. What are you wearing? Because that's super cute.
This is just a romper from the Newly clothing rental from Anthropology.
Oh yeah, you love that.
Yeah.
That's a keeper, maybe.
Maybe, yes.
I like it.
It's a little cinchy in the waist area, but I do like it. I think I might have wanted to go up like maybe one size.
Will they let you do that? Will they let you send it back and request the same thing in a larger
but it'll
size?
probably count as one of my 6 for the next one. So that's fine. But I thought it was cute. I've thrown it on for like multiple little things, and then this is just a little silk deal from Taos that I picked up last year. So right,
so adorable.
So
I'm not going to show it this time because we were talking about the colors for our Jethro cardigans.
Yes.
Was that last episode?
Yep.
And, you know, I showed my crazy squares. And what I ended up doing, someone had suggested making it into a bag, which I thought was a great idea.
Yes,
and I have a ton of that stuff left over. So I actually may make a bag. And actually, Lucy with Attic 24 has this really cute, like, bag pattern. And the bag is designed to hold, like, one of her blankets worth of balls.
Oh, cool.
Of that yarn.
Yeah.
So I may make a bag because I was like, oh yeah, all these colors would be really cute in a bag. But it worked brilliant. I pulled off the outer granny square round of each of, I think I had like 20 ones done at that time, and I did rim them all in the gray. And like Tana's Fiber Art had a little genius stroke when she did that because it makes
she knows
it
what
cohesive.
she's doing. Yeah,
it's almost like she's a designer.
Yeah,
and now I love it. And
we'll pop up the picture here.
Yeah, well, and you know, it was like a quick snap photo, so it's like half on a gray rug, half on a beige rug.
I can crop.
But that's how we roll. We don't stylize things. This is real life here, people.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like it, and I think once I get the button band around and, you know, the hem and the sleeves, that I got my colors all laid out the way I want them. So I didn't want to pick it up and disturb that. And I've got all the squares done.
Nice.
I've just been crocheting my little heart out.
Yeah.
And then I do need to get probably one more ball of that yarn because there's not going to be quite enough, because you need like 350 yards for the band, the hem, and the sleeves.
Okay.
And each one of those balls of that Cascade Superwash is 220 yards.
Okay.
And I had to nip into the second one to finish rimming all the squares.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's coming along. And then yesterday I was a busy little beaver, and I got my layoff bag almost all the way put together.
That's so
and then
exciting.
I was telling Megan, I had it all turned inside out, and I was like, oh, all these raw edges are going to fray. So I got out my pinking shears and was about to go snip, 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 and trim all those clean. And then I looked over and saw something about putting a binding on. And I was like, oh, I better not trim those. I'll never get the binding on.
That was my least favorite part of that bag.
Did you hand sew it?
No, I did it on the machine, but that was one of those where it's like I did it in a day, and like that was the last bit, and it was
you were tired.
Very fiddly. I was tired. It's not a straight line at all, but it's on the inside,
it's on the inside.
I didn't really care.
No one cares.
It's functional, and that's what matters. Speaking of sewing, really cool thing. So I was home this week. Unfortunately for a funeral, but with that, my parents, my dad mostly, has been going through all of the stuff in my grandparents' old condo. and figuring out what's actually sentimental versus what needs to be tossed and donated and all that stuff, so that they can clean it up and get it ready for the next 80-year-old person to live in there. So he brought home a whole box of sewing stuff, and I know that my grandpa knew how to sew, and they have one of those tables that flips up into it's an end table into a sewing machine. So I had him bookmark that for me eventually to take home. Not sure how, but what I could fly home with, I didn't bring with me, unfortunately, but I'll have to bring it next time.
Road trip.
Yes. But I inherited actually a couple of interesting things. I don't think they're from my grandpa or my grandma. I think they're from my great grandma. So my grandpa's mom, who was an amazing seamstress, apparently. I found her Singer measurement book from 36 or something. Cool. I'm gonna frame it. I'll bring it. It's really, really cool.
That's cool.
And then I got like a sewing awl, like a bone sewing awl.
Nice.
And a bunch of micro crochet hooks.
Oh, fun.
My theory on that is that, like, with machine knit and like produced fabrics back then when they were mending it, I think they needed that small of a hook to pick up the threads and like fix sweaters and things. Yeah. And I also
those
found
might come in handy for fixing ready to wear sweaters now.
For sure, yeah.
Stretching the life out a little longer.
The other thing I found was like a half completed, half started blanket with some vintage yarn. Vintage acrylic yarn,
sorry,
like old school.
My eye feels like it's like twitching.
No, you're fine.
I'm like, what are you saying?
Who is that?
Sorry. This is very distracting. I'm so sorry.
I'll have to bring it and see if you can see what stitch it is, and if I can continue it. I feel like whoever was working on it was not the most experienced crocheter because the edges kind of go like this. So I was thinking about ripping it back and maybe making like a pillow for my dad for his office and a pillow for me to hang on to. But
I think that's a really good idea. And let's look at it, because I have some ideas about just using the sewing machine, so you don't have to rip it back, you just cut it down. But I'm thinking steeking, which I've never done.
It's not that big. It's like maybe this big. But then
because you can reinforce the edge, but I don't know if it works the same with crochet.
I think it might be worth just taking it back.
Yeah,
but the other cool thing was I found
I'm just spitballing over here.
Yeah, it was a receipt from going and buying fabric. My grandma bought 6 yards of muslin fabric. Great grandma bought 6 yards of muslin fabric. Not sure the year, but do you want to guess how much that cost?
Like 42 cents.
90 cents. She paid him $1. So I have that.
Then I'm gonna. You don't sew anymore to save money.
No, and I was gonna bring home 2 pairs of like.
Well, I mean, that may depend on the garment, the fabric, and all that stuff, but.
But I thought it was funny. I'm like, no, that would be $20. I was like,
but you could also get a house for like $42,000 back.
Not even that, right? Like, less than that. Yeah. But so I was gonna bring home 2 sets of pinking shears just to like. I don't even think that they were sharp anymore. And then like the instructions say to send this to this company to sharpen them. They don't exist anymore, of course. So I was going to bring them up and like hang them on the wall or something like
cute
that.
For a little decoration.
Because they're heavy and old, and then I second guessed it.
I love that kind of stuff.
TSA. So I was like, because it's a longer. I could have, but I didn't want to because I just wanted to get home. My flight home yesterday was very early, so I just wanted to like get home and go to bed, basically. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
But anyway, that was a fun little deep dive into kind of.
Vintage
sewing stuff, and I want to do some sort of a shadow box kind of thing for my sewing room. It's pretty cool, and I was telling my dad because I didn't bring the.
Can he ship you those pinking shirts?
Yeah, or they're gonna check a bag when they come out and visit. And I was like, normally I joke around that like when I bring things on the plane, I'm not too worried about it getting confiscated because it's not like an heirloom from my great grandmother's sewing collection. I'm like, and this time it is, so I kind of want to be a little more cautious.
No, they would have confiscated the pinking shirts for sure.
I think so, because they say nothing like longer than 6 inches or whatever.
I usually just take a little teeny little snips. Yeah.
So anyway, that was like a cool little dive into that. Oh, and I got some like vintage sewing books and a vintage crochet doily magazine.
It reminds me of the scene in Harry Potter where they go to try to get who's the kooky potions teacher?
Trelawney.
No, the kooky potions teacher, the guy who they're trying to get the memory from. What's his name? I've seen the Harry Potter's like 8.
Slughorn.
Yeah, and they go to that house and little babble, blah, 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 and Dumbledore comes out of the bathroom with the knitting magazine.
Yeah.
He says, "I do love knitting patterns."
Yes. Yeah.
That's what the doily magazine made me think of. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I do love a good crochet doily magazine.
And it was everything with the pineapple pattern on it. So,
hey,
interesting.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah, try it out. Nice little doily here. Oh, and it was like, make a matching, like, it was like armrest and headrest.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then like a bedspread and a runner and all sorts of stuff. You don't want to get
your hair cream spot on your, hair products weren't what they are.
Nowadays,
weren't what they are now.
So it was very cool to see like little bits of history with that. And then there was some stuff where it was like, I don't need 3 tomatoes. Like sewing pin tomatoes.
Oh, yeah. No,
I took 1.
You need to be selective about that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because when my grandmother, she hadn't passed away yet. She has since, but my aunt and I were going through her sewing stuff, and there was some stuff in there we couldn't figure out what it was for.
Oh, there was a weird thing in there,
we couldn't find it on
too.
The internet. It was nuts. And
I found like an I-cord maker. No idea how to it had like a big I-cord hanging out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no idea how to get this off. No idea how to use it to continue it. And I was like,
that stuff's just better to
really
look at,
ugly brown yarn. So I took a picture of it and I was like, yeah, that can go away.
Yeah. Thank you, but we'll take a pass.
Yeah.
So I should, I think I might have a layoff bag to show next time.
That'll be fun.
Because I also was telling Megan I forgot to sew in the lining on the back. But luckily how it's constructed, it was
I think it
super
should be
easy.
Pretty easy, yeah.
But also, so the gusset band wasn't as long as the ovals for the front and back for some reason. So I ended up doing a couple cute little pleats.
Okay. Yeah.
I did a little box pleat on the bottom back. Yeah.
Mine happened pretty naturally.
I did pleats there, and then I did a little box pleat right here.
Nice.
But, yeah.
I want to
showing some love.
I know. It's been my everyday bag,
Yeah.
and I cleaned some really nasty stains off of it. I need to clean this one off of it, and it kind of bleached it a little bit, but I think I might do another one in wax canvas.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And my mom wants one, so
yeah.
I've got
and
orders
every time
now.
It'll be easier now, right? 'Cause,
yes.
you know the steps, you understand the construction,
and I'll probably break it into a couple of days. But I really need to finish my estuary skirt. That's just been sitting crumpled up in a corner since I haven't figured out the gathering stitches. But yeah.
Oh right, we were gonna look at that.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, we'll look at it. I can come over too.
Yeah,
I can swing by.
Maybe sometime this week.
Maybe next week. This week is crazy because Blaze and I leave Friday to go to North Carolina for the weekend.
Oh right.
I have to go meet my new nephew.
Oh,
the mini Labradoodle. Murphy.
Yes,
he's so cute.
Good.
So
that'll be fun.
You gotta go meet my nephew.
He looks like a little piece of fried chicken.
He does look like a little chicken nugget. Yeah, if he were sleeping in one of those little dog donuts,
Yeah.
Little dog donut shape. So let's see how are your
I've made 4 more since the last time. I think.
Good job.
And I actually got
the colors are looking so cool.
I know. I just sit on the couch and I say, Justin, what color next? My husband, what color next? What color next? So
these are looking really good. Your tension has evened out.
And I think that it'll even out more with the blocking and everything too.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even worry, but no, these are perfect.
And I got a new hook. I got an ergonomic hook finally, so I can actually do I can do 2 in a sitting instead of just 1 now, which is helpful.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do take about a half hour each.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I can do about 1 and maybe start 1 in 1 episode of Game of Thrones.
That's funny. Yeah, I love the color combination you picked out. It's so you.
Yep.
It's so
yours is so
palette.
you too.
Well, when you have a palette, but you knew your palette.
It was innate.
Yeah, mine.
But I've got. I think I have 12 now.
That's so pretty. Well, that's
so I'm a third of the way there.
A third of the way.
Because it's 36, right?
For the size 3, yes. It's 36 5-inch squares.
Yeah, I thought about doing a 2, and I was like, But I want it to be cozy and like
Yeah.
throw it on over
I
stuff
think this
and
one
layer
is-
it and stuff.
Something that calls for a little oversized.
Yeah.
You know, personally.
And I haven't made any progress on my top really, like an inch. So I'm not even
Time's a
gonna show
ticking.
it. I know.
Time's a ticking.
But what I have.
So wait,
done-
your goal for that is to have your sweater that she showed last week. So if you're curious and you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
go
the like
to-
short sleeve cumulus O-neck blouse or whatever. It's cotton and silk. Have it for the cruise that
Yeah.
I'm going on in September. So I've got like 2 months.
Oh yeah, you'll finish.
A month and a half.
You're fast.
Um,
When you really decide you want to finish it, what's going on here? Oh, is that just
those are
oh,
my stitch markers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've got it safety pinned on this.
So
That's gonna
what
be-
I have been obsessively knitting on is
Those are
my
fun.
Kinergy socks is what
I
I
love
have
the color.
deemed them because they're my Knuff socks because the colorway main colorway is by Madeline Tosh and it's her Kinergy colorway from like Barbie movie. And then the purple was just like a random 50-gram skein that they had at Tangle Ball that I can't remember.
Look how fun. So
I did that in a week.
I want to make a Leouf bag, kind of this like a crazy
like Lisa Frank. It reminds me
Yeah.
of like Lisa Frank a little bit.
Yeah.
But the purple
fun.
is like very vibrant. So I've been knitting on this one when I was home. I finished this right before I left, and then I've been knitting on this, and I didn't have a lot of time to knit.
Are we worried at all about this color bleeding into this?
I am a little bit worried.
Use a color catcher.
Yeah, I need to order some for sure.
I can give you a couple. I have a whole box.
But as I was telling you, I found that my hand knit socks are the best things to wear in my hiking shoes. So I was inspired to grab the most fun, the funnest colors that I could find in
we
case
make up our own language around here.
in case I fell, feet up.
Yeah.
Justin can find me in the woods. So that's really been my
Safety
obsession.
first.
Yes, it's been my obsession. But then I did a tally of how many sock sets and like just like 100-gram skeins of yarn that I have for socks in my stash, and I have 25. So
Get knitting.
I need to get going. 25 pairs. Crazy Sock Lady is on like pair 45 of the year.
You know, if you wear them,
It's great.
you know, that's great.
Yeah. So I found a use for them.
I just
I've stopped
can't-
being like
yeah,
they're
I don't
too.
wear socks enough to
I
knit
know.
that many.
I for a while I was like they're too precious to wear hiking.
No, you gotta
But
just
that's
wear
not
'em.
fair because I can
Andrea
mend
wears
them.
hers hiking.
Yes, I can mend them and I can make more always.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's how I'm like approaching it. Plus, they don't give me blisters.
Yeah.
And you look up all the other hiking socks that they have at
They're all
REI
wool.
and Bombas. They're all merino wool, and I'm like, I have a ton of merino wool sitting at home.
To
Sorry.
me, that's the point. Is you know, if we're making it, we should use it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, things have a lifespan, you know. So, and yeah, that reminded me because somebody commented, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who made this comment, but I appreciated the comment because we were talking about, you know, we kind of talk a little bit about sustainability here and there.
Yep.
And the more I get into it, the more I realize, like, oh my God, it's a really complicated issue. Because I had mentioned that I had just looked up statistics or some data that said acrylic had less CO2 emissions than wool for fabrication of the material.
Right.
But then somebody in the comments pointed out you have to take into account
Water.
well how much you wear it, how
that
you know
too,
the
yeah.
life cycle, the lifespan of, you know, so you have to look at the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking at just production of the raw material, then yes, but then, you know, because I don't know, I feel like wool garments last a long time,
For sure.
and if you wear them more, you know, that automatically, and honestly, like wool sweaters, you don't have to wash them all the time. Socks, different story, but especially you got stanky feet.
Yeah. Stanky hiking feet. Man.
Stanky hiking feet, but there's no point in making something if it's just going to sit there
Right.
and it's not going to get any use, you
Right.
know? I mean, not in my opinion. I mean, maybe other people disagree with that and just want to hang their socks on the wall and look at them. Fine, go for it.
Fair
Artwork.
enough. Yep.
But yeah, I think if we make it, let's use it.
Exactly.
Let's use it. And then whatever. you know?
Use it and reuse it and all that stuff, too.
Because honestly, you could wad it up and felt it afterwards if it's not superwash.
Yep. Or throw it as stuffing into a
Something
pillow.
else. Yeah,
or,
that's true. Mm-hmm.
Or an emotional support chicken.
An emotional support chicken. And then you can have a whole army of emotional support chickens.
I feel like I need it recently, but...
Yeah, that's called modern life.
What's been going on with you guys? You've been getting into hiking. You went on a hike again today?
We went last weekend and we went this weekend. And, you know, it's more like a walk in the wilderness.
A 2-mile walk in the wilderness.
We have little kids and 11 and 9, so...
you want to build them up. You don't want to, ruin the experience.
Exactly.
Right away.
So we picked, some shorter ones. Today was kind of a dud. We went over and did the Meadow Loop little trail at the Lookout Mountain Nature Center.
Okay.
And it was, not that great in broad sun.
Hot.
A few good views, but they were, done by the end of it. Luckily, it was very short, so that was fine. But last weekend, we went to Lara the Bear Park in Idledale, and that was nice because it was right along the little stream and the rocks, and they had a lot of fun with that.
Good.
But yeah, I've been wanting to get more back into I used to hike all the time when I lived in Seattle, and to me, a hike is 20 miles, and so this is starting over at ground level.
Yes,
but we'll build them up.
Well, and that's good for you too to ease back into it.
Yeah, totally. I'm not the. That was a different time. That was 20 years ago, and I am not 20 years ago anymore. Yeah. So
last weekend, Jess and I went up to Brainerd Lake, and
that looked really nice.
We always love that. It was about an hour and 15 minutes away. You have to get reservations, so at least that you're gonna have a parking spot at the trailhead. It's not like you are trying to see if you can get there on time. So it's all timed entry. And we packed a lunch and decided to. Neither of us researched what hike to go on. We were just we're gonna go on the one that we haven't been on before. And honestly, it was better that way because it was a harder hike, and we tend to stay away from the ones that say hard on all trails, especially out in the Rocky Mountains because it's different out here.
Yeah, it is. And then you start getting elevation and the air.
We were at
real fast.
We were 10,000, 11,000 feet up there. We saw moose. We saw Gromit was just having the time of his life.
Yeah,
but we hiked 3 miles and stopped, and I was I don't want to go the extra 0.2 or whatever it is to see the final lake. We had been through all this gorgeous scenery and panoramic views and everything. I'm good to turn around and make it a 6-mile hike. Yeah. But it was hard, and it took us we got there around I want to say 8:40-ish, and we were back at the car around noon. Ate lunch.
I think maybe
the tailgate.
We'll try to get a reservation for that next summer.
Yeah, and there's also other places. I've taken my parents. I would not take my parents.
No,
on that hike.
I mean,
there's multiple hikes.
I'm just saying in terms of time left in the summer before school starts again.
But it also is not as full as 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When we were going before.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So. Yeah. A little bit less of the COVID rush out there, and everything else is kind of opening up.
Kind of got back to
normal. We were still seeing snow and stuff.
Yeah.
So the season is a little bit later this year, I feel to go anyway. Not just because Jess and I didn't get out before probably June this year, but yeah. There's just so much around here.
Yeah, there is a lot. And that's what I've been saying. It's it wasn't for our kids and our older son especially, it was not feasible to hike with them when they were really little.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, we did lots. We have a private lake behind our neighborhood. I mean, we just got
walking,
out lots,
getting them out in nature. Yeah,
out on actual hiking trails, it wasn't gonna work. But now they're old enough, and so just started easing them in. But
yeah. Well, it's hard. I mean, sometimes it's hard for Jess and I to motivate ourselves to go
40-mile death march.
I get that way though.
It was 40 minutes.
Yeah. No, when I get
it reminded me of the Pilates.
Yeah.
How
long has it been?
The SNL Pilates skit. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's hilarious. But they're how long has it been? 4 hours. And Kristen was it's been 11 seconds.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Yeah, I would not have wanted to hike anywhere near here the nice thing also about when we went up to Brainerd Lake, it was 20 degrees cooler than it was
definitely.
here.
That's why we like the mountains.
It was like nice and like chilly kind of. So then when you're exerting yourself, it doesn't feel like you're going to die.
Sorry, but it's like a high of like 99 today.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah. Not okay. I'm not okay with that.
99 Fahrenheit. Don't know what that is in Celsius.
30
like
something.
30 something.
Yeah. Something like. Yeah, because let's just have a different temperature system than anywhere else in the world.
Yes.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like lame. I don't have any goodies to show, but my bag is in a state where I'd hold it up and it just looks like a blob.
Be like flapping around.
It's crazy right now.
But next time.
Yeah, I should have it done. I think I'm going to try to finish it because I dropped to 80% time at work, so I'm taking Wednesdays off now.
Okay.
Although this week it might be a little weird because I'm traveling on Friday, so I think I'm going to try to work Wednesday. But I was thinking if I can, I'll get the bag done. I was thinking maybe work half day Wednesday.
Nice.
Because I can work on the plane while we're flying on Friday and try to get the bag finished up. Yeah, I'm going to try to machine sew the binding on the inside too because I do not really dig hand sewing.
I mean, honestly, if I had had a serger, I would have... But I don't know how it works with that many layers.
Okay, so I don't know. No, serging that many layers is totally fine. Mm-hmm. It's the circle.
Oh, okay.
Sergers, in my experience, it's tricky to get it to work. I mean, it's possible, but it's hard to get because it's two needles and trying to turn while you're going and it's cutting the fabric at the same time. And the binding is going to look more polished and it's going to hold up better.
Okay.
And stuff's not going to snag on the threads as you're
pulling taking stuff in and out.
Yeah. So I have some little dope bags.
Dot bags?
Dope. Yeah, I have some dope bags.
Tell me more.
That I'm not that exciting. No dope bags around here.
You could use a dot bag for dope, I guess.
You could, yeah. And we're in Colorado, so it's legal. But that's not my scene due to things we won't talk about from childhood. I'm scarred.
Oh, I thought that's me. Or something.
That's my emotional scarring.
Gotcha.
But they are serged on the inside, and that's fine. But I don't know. I feel like for a nice bag that you know,
an everyday bag, it's nice to have them.
Yeah, I think either French seams or binding.
It would take a lot of mental capacity to figure out French seams for this. I feel like.
I think the pattern would just need to be different.
Yep.
This pattern is not something that you could just turn into French seams. I mean, I think you'd have to sew the lining separately and then stuff the lining inside and then I think it would be tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is because Meg McElway loves a French seam, but I feel like that's probably why they didn't go that route with this and went the binding route.
Gotcha.
Is because it's as much of a pain in the ass as putting binding on can be. It's easier.
Yeah.
Pain in the butt. Beat me out. I've been
pain
so good.
Butt, yeah.
Pain in the tush.
I don't know what you said before. Pain in the ass?
Yeah, but that's not G-rated.
No, but
don't ruin our...
I think we're going for PG. It's just the MFers that we have to cut out.
I only did that once, and that beep was so long. I was like, what am I saying? So that's what... Yeah, I'm just working. I'm still slogging away. I have done a couple of rows on my trestle tee, but I've been so distracted crocheting these
granny squares.
I just couldn't stop.
But also you passed your, final aromatherapy?
I've passed the anatomy physiology exam for my aromatherapy certification, and now I just have to write my research paper.
Nice.
Which I have started researching, so that's good.
Good.
I'm writing my research paper on hydrosols.
Okay.
TBD on that. And since this is not really an aromatherapy channel, we don't need to get too deep into it, but it's the aromatic waters left over from distillation of the essential oil.
Nice.
And they can be lovely. I just love hydrosols, so I'm writing my paper on them. So that'll conclude 300 course hours.
Amazing.
For that, and then I think I'll take a little break, and then I'll start. I already have the class lined up for the clinical aromatherapy. It's like a level 3 aromatherapy, and I'm going to do that as well. And that's another 125 hours of coursework.
Amazing.
So, but research paper first, one step at a time.
Yep.
Yeah. But now that I'm taking Wednesdays off of work, I'll work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
And that little midweek break, that'll be nice.
Yeah. My special needs brain is going to be much happier, I can already tell.
Good.
Yeah, so I was really happy that they wanted to work that out and kind of come up with a schedule that I can actually be sustainable with. 5 days in a row for me is, and my with my job's pretty stressful. You know, building very, very fancy houses, like celebrity level houses, it's pretty stressful. It's a lot of money being thrown around.
In charge of, and yeah.
So anyway, but I'm deciding if I'm gonna take my socks. I'm still working on my socks too, but I haven't touched those in a couple weeks. Debating on whether I'm gonna take those this weekend on the trip or just not take. I might not take a project at all.
That might be fine too.
Because it's just such a short trip that I'm gonna have my son with me and
puppy and
I might take Legends of Zelda instead.
Yeah.
Play little Tears of the Kingdom in my downtime.
Yeah, I downloaded Stardew Valley on my tablet when I was home. So, I was doing that instead of knitting. But,
yeah, fair enough.
Comes in seasons.
Well, I take breaks and I get on a Tears of the Kingdom kick.
Yep.
That game, for me, I've never played anything like it, the open world, and it is so fun, but it's really hard at points. And I've been just slogging away. And it's like it never ends. There's just more and more stuff to do. So, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. So I kind of hit that in spurts, and then with studying for all the aromatherapy stuff. But yeah, there's a moment in time for everything. Where were we?
I don't know. I think we're about ready to wrap up. This might be a bit of a shorter episode today, which is fine.
Yeah, doesn't always have to be a marathon.
No, I think it's been a marathon 2 weeks for us, but
it's been stressful the past 2 weeks because and you don't have to leave this in, but I sent in my letter of resignation a week ago Friday, and then I got a raise on Monday, and then I negotiated I'm calling it 3/4 time, but it's really 80% on Wednesday. Yeah. So it's just been. I feel like I've been on this emotional roller coaster. And I think that's one of the reasons I've just been granny squaring, because I don't have to.
It's easy. It's tangible. Check. Yep.
I don't have to think about them.
Yes.
I can just whip out a granny square and just a real good decompressor. That trestle tee, the construction is so different than anything I've ever done.
For sure.
That I really have to pay attention. Yep. And I just haven't been in the mindset for that. So actually, it's been really good that you threw the Jethro squirrel at me.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, because you could have been not doing anything. That would have been fine, too.
Yeah. I don't know. When I'm just sitting there watching a show or something,
Granny
have my hands,
busy, for sure.
Anyway,
all right.
Well, hope everyone is having a good couple of weeks coming up, and we'll see you back here 2-ish weekishes.
2-ish weekishes, yes.
2-ish weekishes. Is that like 11sies?
It wasn't my IP address.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.